You are not on the reservation list.
Christine Knox paused mid-step, the warmth of the restaurant spilling over her shoulders.
The dinner is for immediate family only.
Her stepmother's words hung in the air, sharp as broken glass. Behind Stephanie, William stared at the floor, his silence more cutting than any word. The maitre d' shifted his weight, glancing between the women, his practiced smile faltering.
We simply don't have a seat for you. Surely you understand.
Immediate family. As if I hadn't sat at that table for 30 years before she arrived.
Christine's hand brushed the dog tags beneath her dress, a familiar anchor. On the sidewalk, the city noise faded. Only the weight of the moment remained.
Honestly, Christine, even if we had a seat, you'd be out of place. This is a $500 tasting menu.
She always equated love with a price tag. But my worth has never been about money.
The dog tags beneath her dress glinted in the streetlight, a silent testament to another kind of wealth. William finally lifted his eyes, but only to the menu on the wall, not to his daughter.
It's for the best. You'd probably order the cheapest thing and embarrass us all.
Embarrass them. They had no idea of the battles I've already won.
Inside the restaurant, a few diners glanced toward the commotion, their whispers a quiet tide of judgment.
Go home, Christine. Your father and I will call you tomorrow, if there's time.
Christine's hand unclenched. She would not give them the satisfaction of seeing her break. The restaurant's golden light framed Stephanie like a portrait of everything Christine had been denied.
Are you still here? I thought I made myself perfectly clear.
Madame, if I may, perhaps there has been a mistake. I could check the reservation again.
There is no mistake. This is a private family event. Do not interfere.
Begging would only feed her. I won't give her that satisfaction. Not here. Not ever.
Christine turned on her heel, the movement crisp, almost military in its precision. William's hand twitched at his side, but he did not reach out. His silence was a final verdict.
Finally. Enjoy your evening, Christine. Somewhere else.
The maitre d' looked away, his professionalism masking a flicker of pity. Christine stepped off the curb, the restaurant's golden glow fading behind her like a receding tide. She didn't look back. Not yet. The night air tasted of salt and unfinished business.
Wait.
The single word cut through the night, freezing Christine in her tracks. She turned, her heart suddenly hammering.
Who is that? This is none of your concern.
Through the kitchen doors, a man in chef's whites strode with the urgency of someone who had just seen a ghost. Robert's eyes locked on Christine. His face shifted from shock to a fierce, tearful recognition.
Christine Knox. Is it really you?
That voice. I know that voice from somewhere, years ago.
She's leaving. You must be mistaken. This woman is no one. Christine, walk away right now.
But Robert did not move aside. He planted himself between Christine and the exit, his broad shoulders blocking Stephanie's dismissal with the quiet authority of a commander.
You don't remember me, but I remember you. It was Fallujah, 12 years ago. You saved my life.
Christine's blood turned to ice. Fallujah, the name ripped through the elegant restaurant like a sandstorm.
This is preposterous. My stepdaughter has never been anywhere near a war zone. She's practically agoraphobic.
I don't know what you've been told, ma'am, but I know what I saw. She saved my life under fire.
Christine's hand flew to her chest, where the dog tags lay hidden. She couldn't form words.
The building was collapsing. I could hear the screams, and those same eyes looking up at me.
William, do something. This man is making a mockery of our family.
Christine, explain yourself. What is this man talking about?
Dad, it was another life. One you never cared to know about.
It was the day I was reborn, and the name of my savior is Christine Knox.
The dining room held its breath. A waiter's tray clattered softly in the background.
Ma'am, with all respect, step aside. This isn't your restaurant, it's mine.
without waiting for a reply. Robert turned to the maitre d' and raised his voice for the whole room.
Ladies and gentlemen, this woman saved my life in Fallujah. She is a hero.
This is absurd. My stepdaughter works a desk job. For heaven's sake. Everyone knows that.
Let him speak. For once, let someone tell the truth about what I did.
Hero. Christine, have you been lying to us all these years?
Lying? You have no idea of the bravery she carries. She pulled me from a collapsed building under sniper fire.
Murmurs rippled through the dining room. Forks paused mid-air. Every eye was on Christine.
I won't have this, William. We're leaving. This is a disgrace to our family name.
But no one moved. The power had shifted. The restaurant now belonged to the woman they had tried to throw out. Robert turned to face the silent room, his voice carrying the grit of a battlefield.
12 years ago, in Fallujah, a building collapsed on my unit. I was trapped. The enemy was closing in. I accepted that I would die there. And then, through the dust, a Marine appeared. She dragged me out. She carried me through gunfire, not stopping until I was safe. That Marine was Christine Knox.
Christine's eyes glistened, but she remained still, her lips pressed together.
This is a con. She paid you, didn't she? My stepdaughter couldn't save a fly.
I have the scars, ma'am, and a memory sharper than any knife in my kitchen.
William stared at his daughter, as if seeing her for the first time. The matron quietly stepped back, recognizing that a sacred story was unfolding.
I owe this woman everything. This restaurant, my life, every breath I take belongs to her.
Not a single fork scraped a plate. The clinking of glasses had ceased entirely.
Robert, please. You don't have to do this. Not here.
I have waited 12 years for this, Captain. Let me honor you properly.
He drew himself up, shoulders squared, no longer a chef, but a Marine standing at attention.
This is getting ridiculous. William, are you going to let this farce continue?
In front of all these people, I will give you the respect the world has denied you.
Christine's eyes glistened, but she held her ground, a single tear escaping.
In the Corps, we salute. But for you, Captain, there is only one proper tribute.
And then, with the gravity of a commander on sacred ground, he began to lower himself. Robert bent one knee, the polished floor cold beneath him, his gaze never leaving hers.
He's really doing it. In front of everyone. After all these years of silence.
The weight of his body shifted, decades of gratitude pressing him down toward the floor. Christine's hand flew to her mouth, a silent gasp escaping her lips. Stephanie's face twisted, her mouth opening and closing wordlessly, a fish out of water. William stepped back, his entire understanding of his daughter crumbling to dust. In the dining room, patrons rose from their seats, craning to glimpse the impossible sight. Robert's other knee began to bend, joining the first, his posture, that of a knight before his queen.
I never asked for this, but maybe I need it. Not for me, but for them.
He hovered an inch from the ground, head bowed, waiting for her acknowledgement. With a final, solemn breath, Robert's knee touched the floor. It was the quietest sound, yet it drowned out the entire restaurant.
Captain Knox, you pulled me out of that building.
He looked up, eyes shining with tears he'd held for over a decade. From her angle, Christine saw the top of his head, a grown man bowed in gratitude, as if to a saint. Stephanie's face drained to chalk. The lie she'd built her power on evaporated. William's jaw went slack. He searched his memory, trying to find the daughter he'd misjudged. Waiters froze mid-service. Silver platters arrested in mid-air. A champagne cork popped somewhere in the back. The only other sound.
I have waited 12 years to say that, Captain.
Christine extended her hand, fingers trembling slightly, a silent offering to help him rise. The restaurant erupted in hushed, urgent murmurs. The world had just shifted, and everyone felt it.
The building was a concrete tomb. I was pinned under debris, choking on dust.
His voice broke, but he pushed on, every word a tribute dragged from the rubble of memory.
I heard shouts in Arabic. The insurgents were closing in. I knew they would execute me. Then a silhouette appeared in the smoke. Small, fast, fearless. It was you, Captain Knox, you and your rangers. You charged through gunfire like angels.
I had almost forgotten the taste of that dust, the weight of his body as I dragged him.
A second tear traced Christine's cheek, but she didn't wipe it away. She let it fall. Robert rose, his knees stiff from the cold floor, and gently took her hand.
You gave me a second life. This restaurant, my family, it all exists because of you.
In that moment, the fine dining room felt like a cathedral. Stephanie stood rigid, a statue of fury, still holding her hand. Robert turned toward the dining room, his chef's coat pristine, his purpose clear.
Tonight, Captain Knox sits at the head table, where she belongs.
With a discreet gesture, a waiter appeared and guided a sputtering Stephanie to a small table near the kitchen door. Stephanie's protests died in her throat as the room's attention remained fixed on Christine.
And to honor her, tonight's tasting menu will feature a dish created for her, the Captain's Stew.
A murmur of surprise and approval rippled through the candlelit tables. Waiters glided forward, lifting silver cloches to reveal steaming bowls of the new creation. The aroma of braised short ribs, red wine, and herbs rose in a savory cloud.
I never imagined my service would be celebrated like this, with food.
The room broke into applause, a standing ovation for the captain who had saved one of their own. Robert moved through the courses like a maestro, returning again and again to Christine's side.
After I was evacuated, I learned you'd been sent back out the next day. No rest for the brave.
William sat rigid, pushing his food into careful patterns, avoiding Christine's gaze.
This is unbearable. She's turned my husband's birthday into her own spectacle.
But no one was looking at Stephanie. The entire room was captivated by the quiet woman in black. Diners stole glances, their conversations hushed, as if they were eating in a church.
I named my daughter after you, you know. Christine. She's 6 now.
William's fork clattered onto his plate, the sound sharp and revealing. Christine looked up, her eyes meeting Stephanie's glare with a calm that spoke of battles far worse. Robert poured a rare wine, his voice low, to Captain Knox. May we never forget.
This farce has gone on long enough. Waiter, bring me the bill immediately. I want to leave this place.
There will be no bill, madam. For the captain, it's on the house.
That's insulting. We are not her charity case.
William lurched to his feet, his old hands shaking as he retrieved a worn leather wallet.
Let me pay, Robert. Please. It's my birthday. Just let me do this.
The sentence landed like a stone in a pond, the dining room's hush deepening around it.
He wants to buy back his silence with a meal, as if money could fill the void of decades.
Robert's face remained kind, but his head gave a slow, definitive shake.
With respect, sir, your daughter is the reason I am breathing. This dinner is my thanks, not a debt you can settle.
Dad, don't. Please, not tonight.
Christine rose. The scrape of the chair was the only sound. She looked at her father, her expression final.
I came for your birthday, Dad, but I won't be the debt you try to pay.
She turned to Robert, a quiet gratitude softening her face.
Thank you for this honor, Robert. I'll carry it with me.
Stephanie started to speak, but Christine raised a hand without looking at her. The gesture was a command. She walked past their table, each step echoing a deliberate choice. At the door, she paused, her hand on the cool handle, and for one breath, she did not move. She pushed it open. The night air rushed in, clean and cold, and she stepped into the dark. Outside, the city hummed. She stood alone, her shoulders finally releasing. Behind her, the restaurant's golden glow was muffled by the closing door, leaving the family frozen in a silence that would stretch for years. The taxi's headlights cut through the dark. She didn't speak to the driver. She just watched the city blur.
I walked out. I actually walked out. And I feel lighter, not heavier.
The apartment was silent. The dress felt heavy now, like armor she was ready to shed.
I've worn this dress for hours, but I've worn their dismissal for years. One I can take off.
She changed into a soft sweater and jeans, the dog tags clinking softly as she pulled them free. Sitting at the small desk, she opened the laptop. The screen cast a blue glow in the darkened room. She typed her father's email address. The cursor blinked. A blank page. For a long moment, she didn't move. The weight of words unsaid pressed against the keyboard.
If I write this, it's forever. No more pretending.
She began to type. The first letters appeared on the screen. A fragile bridge or a final wall. The words came with a strange calm. She wrote of boundaries, of love that had to be earned, of holidays she would miss.
This is not a punishment. This is a shield.
Her finger hovered over the send button, a tremble running through it. Then, with a decisive click, the email vanished into the void. Done. Days later, a cream envelope slipped through the mail slot. A silver emblem embossed on the back. She tore it open. Inside, a thick card with elegant script to Captain Christine Knox. You are formally invited to dine free for life at this restaurant. Your table always waiting.
Free for life. Not because of pity, but because of honor.
She held the card to her chest, a small, sad smile playing at her lips. The weight of the past weeks shifted, settling into something resembling peace. Months had passed, crisp autumn air replacing summer's heat. The restaurant's exterior unchanged, but a new specials board stood near the entrance. At the top of the board, in elegant gold lettering, it read, "The Captain's Stew," a permanent tribute. Christine approached, wearing a simple blouse and slacks, the dog tag still visible, but now a choice, not a secret. Before she could touch the door, it swung open. Robert stood there, chef's coat immaculate, his smile immediate and unguarded.
Captain, your table is ready. We've kept it open every night, just in case.
Every night? You shouldn't have.
It's the least I could do. Please, sit. The Captain's stew has been perfected since you last tasted it.
A waiter materialized, setting a steaming bowl before her. The aroma was deep and familiar, a sensory reminder of that night.
It tastes like redemption. Like the silence finally broken.
She ate alone, but not lonely. The gentle murmur of the dining room was a backdrop to her quiet victory. She paused between bites, the spoon resting in her hand, her gaze drifting over the candlelit room.
That night they tried to erase me. Instead, they carved my name into this place forever.
A faded American flag hung on the far wall, its edges frayed, its presence solid and unassuming. Robert approached, his footsteps soft on the polished floor, his expression one of quiet respect.
Everything to your liking, Captain.
More than I can say. It's perfect.
He didn't linger, just gave her a small, understanding nod. The kind shared between people who had seen the worst and survived. Christine felt the tension of years begin to uncoil from her shoulders. For the first time, she was not a guest, but a part of this place.
This is what family should feel like. Not blood, but recognition.
She lifted her glass in a silent toast to the empty chair across from her, a gesture of peace, not loneliness. Twice a year, as the leaves turned or the first snow melted, Christine appeared at the restaurant door.
Your table is ready, Captain.
The stew arrived without her ordering. She had become part of the restaurant's rhythm in the kitchen. Robert still plated each bowl himself, never delegating the honor. Season after season, the menu was reprinted, but the Captain's stew never moved from the top.
I come here not for the food, but for the recognition.
She would finish, leave a generous tip, and walk out with the same quiet dignity she had always carried. The restaurant had become her anchor, a place where her record spoke louder than any family slander, and the stew remained. A permanent reminder that honor endured beyond the battlefield. Christine Knox, once invisible, now forever carved into this place. One cool evening, Christine stepped out into the city streets, the restaurant's golden light framing her back. She paused, fingers touching the dog tags beneath her collar. A quiet habit, a private anchor.
I served. I am seen. That is enough.
Inside, the faded flag watched over the empty chair, a silent sentinel to all that had passed. The stew remained on the menu, a permanent promise that her sacrifice would never be forgotten. Christine turned into the night, her silhouette merging with the city, but a part of her would always remain at that table. The restaurant doors stayed open, welcoming anyone who needed a taste of honor, and the flag, old and frayed, continued to whisper stories of courage from its place on the wall. Captain Knox walked on, no longer defined by those who would not see her. In the corner, the stew still steamed, an edible monument to a debt that could never be fully repaid. The camera settled on the menu board outside the restaurant, weathered by sun and rain, but the gold lettering refused to fade. At the top, the name still held its place. The Captain's Stew, a permanent tribute. It had become more than a dish. It was a story served in a bowl, a memory seasoned with salt and sacrifice. Strangers who ordered it never knew the full weight, but they tasted something ancient and sturdy. The restaurant had long forgotten the stepmother's cruelty, but never the captain's valor. Night settled over the city. The board creaked in the wind, a quiet testament to a life reclaimed. For honor, once spoken, cannot be unsaid. And some debts are paid not with money, but with memory. The captain's stew remained, as it always would. A recipe born in war, served in peace. And somewhere in the city, a woman walked on, her dog tags catching the last light of evening. She was seen. She was remembered. And that was